One problem presents itself as many of us take to the skies for the holidays. Americans, they are getting bigger, and while airline seats are getting smaller, it's a tight squeeze for many flyers, with more people struggling to be able to fit.
And in lieu of wedging oneself in a seat, should another one be made available free of charge? Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot herself, Maycay Beeler, investigates the plus-size passenger dilemma in a special report, Airspace.
I'm just a person like anybody else.
It's been called the great weight debate.
Am I big? Yeah. Have I gotten too big? Yes.
And it can weigh heavy on plus-size airline passengers in more ways than one.
There's apprehension about being next to people who might be upset by my size and feel like I'm taking all the room.
It's anxiety that comes with not knowing if they can fit in what feels like an ever-shrinking airline seat.
There's apprehension about, being able to get a seatbelt on, because that's a factor too.
And the stress of the side eye from seatmates.
I don't like making people around me uncomfortable, because oh my goodness, there's a fat guy. He's going to have to get next to the fat guy.
Infrequent flyer Matt Campbell is a co-worker at Queen City News. To airline officials, he is considered a customer of size. Campbell says he has always loved to fly.
But because I've gotten big, because I've gotten fat, there's also apprehension.
Apprehension over a policy in which many airlines require people of size carry the financial burden of purchasing a second seat. Some European carriers even toy with the concept, should these passengers pay by the pound.
I hate that though, because individuals have pride. Individuals have their own feelings, and that's an embarrassment. Nobody wants to feel like, oh my God, I'm so big that I have to buy a second seat.
It is discriminatory, even though I recognize that they're trying to protect the experience of all people who are flying. Essentially, people in a larger body are going to be paying more for the same experience.
We're here at the North Carolina Transportation Museum in Spencer to check out some vintage passenger seats to see if the width of the seat has changed over time. Now, these seats are from a 1982 Boeing 767. We're talking economy, cheap seats. Now, I know depending on the airplane model, they can vary, so we're just generally speaking. So these seats in the 80s, and even as far back as the 60s, measured about 17, 18 inches in width. Now, believe it or not, today, the cheap economy seats 16, 17, 18 inches, they're about the same. So why do we feel so scrunched in our seats? Well, according to the CDC, the weight of an average adult, we're talking females and males, the weight of an average adult back then, 155 pounds, but today the average weight, 186. So even though the width of the seats hasn't changed much, our weight has.
My concern about my seatmates and spilling over too much is my number one concern, and my own comfort is second, and overshadowing it all is embarrassment.
We already know when we purchase the seats that the seats are not for us. So I do believe that, yes, we do need to purchase an extra seat so that the person beside us can be more comfortable until the airlines get up enough money to make seats that we can actually fit in.
Reports estimate 42% of Americans are overweight. Experts predict over half the global population will be obese by 2035. We reached out to the top U.S. major airlines about their customer of size policies. American and United referred us to the accessible seating page on their company websites. Southwest and Delta did not respond. However, their website information is similar. People of size can pay a heavy price to fly. Policies vary. Not all airlines require buying a second seat, but most do. Here's the general criteria requiring the purchase of a second seat. If the passenger is unable to fit into a single seat in the ticketed cabin, is unable to properly buckle the seatbelt using a single seatbelt extender, and/or is unable to put the seat's armrest down when seated is in the space of the adjacent seat. On some airlines, if there are unused seats available on the flight, then a customer meeting any of this criteria may be reaccommodated next to an empty seat. Some flights are booked solid, so airlines advise plus-size customers purchase an adjoining extra seat ahead of time.
That was very anxiety-ridden for me because I don't have the money for another seat. Does this mean I can't fly?
Campbell hasn't had to purchase an extra seat yet, but the possibility is always looming.
I'm going to try to squeeze everything I can into the one. And so there were times when I was, just a little bit nervous before getting on that plane to see, is somebody going to tell me, you're not buying one, you're buying two.
And there is always the seatbelt extender.
I've thought about asking for a seatbelt extender, but pride and embarrassment has kept me from asking for one.
So he bought his own.
It's $15 of calmness. It's going to make me more comfortable in an emotional and physical sense the next time I fly.
But the Federal Aviation Administration has a warning. While these seatbelt extenders may have a label indicating they are FAA approved, they are not inspected under each airline's maintenance program and should not be used. Instead, utilize the ones provided by your flight attendant.
I'm not intentionally this size. I'm not intentionally fat. Am I working on reducing it? Slowly and surely, but probably not as much as somebody in the aisle or the window, if I'm in a middle seat, would like.
They shouldn't have to pay for extra seating, if they're larger, then who knows, it could be a health issue, it could be a lot of things. They make room for pets, everything. Why can't they just be more human to people?
There is demand for the FAA to protect plus-size travelers. Petitions pressing airlines to provide accessible additional seats to customers of size. Other countries have made changes. Air Canada has a policy that reads, anyone functionally disabled by obesity should be given an extra free seat.
A lot of times when people are in larger bodies, there could be a number of different reasons. Trauma, medical illness, different aspects of their life that have been a struggle for them, inherited or genetic traits. So it's best for us not to judge what we don't understand.
Campbell knows it is unlikely U.S. airlines will ever give away seats. However,
I realize they've got to make a return for their investors. But if your customer base has a bigger base, why don't you adapt to that?
reporting in Charlotte, Maycay Beeler, Queen City News.